No more excuses for not being organized and forgetting all of your tasks. And there are also no more excuses for feeling overwhelmed with this endless to-do list. This right here, what we're talking about today, is going to be a game changer in your productivity and how you are staying organized and on top of everything that you need to do in your business. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, my name is Amanda Colby and I am a business coach for service-based entrepreneurs and have scaled my business to almost $1 million in under 2 years. I am also a full-time world traveler and I am really passionate about helping people grow and start their own online businesses so they can live a freedom lifestyle. So we talk all things entrepreneurship, business, digital nomad, everything here on this channel. And today, this is going to be a game changer for your productivity in your business. I am diving into ClickUp, which ClickUp is my favorite tool. I mean, I could gush about this software, this program all day long, and this video is not even sponsored by them, but ClickUp is a project management tool. So we're gonna be diving into specifically how to use ClickUp a little bit, as well as more how I use ClickUp within my own business as an entrepreneur. Because one thing that I have been missing online, I literally scoured YouTube before doing this video, is I could find a couple tutorials for ClickUp, but I couldn't really find out how are people using this tool in a business like mine. And so when I first started using it, it's not really helpful to have a tool if you don't know how to implement certain systems and organization for your own type of business. So if you're a service-based entrepreneur and you are looking for a new project management tool to stay on top of everything, this is going to be literally so helpful for you to see the insides of my own ClickUp and how to use it. P.S. Keep watching until the end and you can learn how to steal my exact ClickUp systems. And before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to support this channel. I so greatly appreciate it. And now let's dive into my screen.
Okay, welcome to my ClickUp. So first, before we dive into how I use this for my business, I want to give you a couple things that you need to know as far as how ClickUp is set up and how it is used. So when you dive into ClickUp, I'll explain what this is here, but basically this is a compilation of all of my different tasks. So this is kind of like my main calendar, but ClickUp is going to be divided into spaces, which are going to be these here. So like we have an HQ, an operations. I have one in particular for LLB because it's so big, but these are all of our spaces. And then we are going to hop into one of them here into operations. And I'll show you some of these examples in a minute. But then we have folders, which are these right here. And as you can see inside of them, you can have different lists. And then inside of lists, you can have different tasks. So anything like this is a task and you can actually open it up like this. And there can be a bunch of different stuff inside and you can of course assign it to different people. So that is the basic hierarchy of ClickUp. Now, the next thing to know is inside of any list, which is going to be the main thing where you are organizing everything, we have different views. And this is one of my favorite things about ClickUp is there's so much customizability and so many different ways that you can set up processing and organizing the information inside. So this is my YouTube management board. And without getting into detail as far as how it is set up, you can just clearly see here, we do have a calendar view. So I can see when all of my videos are scheduled to go live and some of the different tasks, but as well within the same task, I can have documents. So we might have a brainstorming document. I can also have a board view, which is Kanban style. And so we can look at our entire process as far as, okay, great, outlined, filming this, and you can drag and drop just like that. So that's another viewpoint. And then we can also have a list form. So this is an example of a list form where we have different tasks and templates. And for us, we have like captions stored here. So there's a lot of different ways you can title these statuses, which is what they are called, in order to organize the information. But as you can see, there's a bunch of different views. There's actually more views in this as well. So we can have a mind map, which is really cool. You can have a table as well, a timeline. You can have dependencies between tasks. You can also just have like a chat box, and you can also embed certain things. So this is really cool. When we used to use Airtable, we would embed Airtable views in here. And you can also have forms. So you'll get to this in just a minute, but we use forms so much within our business as far as one big way of how we use ClickUp. So one of my favorite parts about ClickUp is that you can add custom fields. So as you can see here, I just started a blank board for us and we've got maybe in progress to do, maybe we have YouTube, videos being edited and whatnot. So you can set it up in any different way. But instead of just having the assignee and the due date, we can add custom fields right here. So these are all the different types of custom fields you can do. So let's add a drop down, and let's, for example, say that you are planning out blog posts within your business, and we want to look at the different process steps that that's going through. So we're going to call this process. And then let's say maybe that you brainstorm and you like just adding brainstorm ideas, and then you are going to outline your different blog posts, and then you're going to go through the SEO plus uploading. And then let's say for you that you need to review stuff for your team. So you're going to say like AK review. You can customize it as much as that. And then we'll say just, edit and finalize. That's a lot of steps here. Now, what we can also do is add different colors. You can actually even add custom colors here if you have different hex codes, which makes it even more fun. So let's add this one and save. But then we can just pick from here, and I will show you what this looks like. And this is going to be so helpful with you organizing all of the information. So we'll add this column. And then we can, move it around how we want. If we want to hide this one, we can hide the column. And let's say for this one, it's an outline. And then this one, it's SEO uploading, right? So this is just one of the many ways that you can add all of these custom fields. We can add a checkbox. So let's say publish, and we just like carrying, seeing that check when it's published. So once you kind of figure out what you need to create different charts, different lists for within ClickUp, there's so many ways that we can organize it. Another thing that I love is we can add forms. So for us, we use forms where I'm just going to add a new one here to show you how it works. But we use forms for a lot of different things. We use it for testimonials, and we also use it for client intake forms. So for us, since we use a lot of group programs, anytime that we have a new client sign up for one of our programs, we'll make a new list like this that for us is called a client roster. And then we will add different tasks here to the form for them to be able to fill out. And then we're able to just click share and grab the link for our students to fill out that form. Now, once they do, then it is automatically going to pop up into this list here. And when we click inside of it, we'll be able to see all of their information. So this is such a great way for you to easily be all in one place rather than having to use like Google Forms or Typeforms and all these different things. And then you can even come and check stuff off here, being like, this student was approved. Like we use this for application forms for our programs, and maybe this one was denied or something, right? We can change these forms here. So this is another really cool aspect of ClickUp, and a couple different ideas of how to use it in your business. So another way that we use this is we have a podcast guest application form, as you can see here. And once someone fills it out, it will pop up here and under a new application. And then we're going to click inside and review all of the details. And then we will even just add our note here. So maybe this is a business title and they're a fitness coach that wants to be on the podcast, etc. And we can, rate like they're going to be a great guest, or, maybe they're not a fit here. So this is one way that you can use it. We also use it for testimonials. So for us, once they fill out the testimonials, we keep it super simple, but they all get stored in here. So this has been one of my favorite ways to be able to utilize forms as well as just utilize ClickUp information. Now, this right here is my calendar of everything. So it basically pulls from all of these different spaces and lists and pulls all the tasks specifically assigned to me. So I just click right here, and what we've done is we've actually set up a filter of the information. So this is a really great thing that you can do for any list or any calendar that you want, is you can just add different filters, and it can be for anything. So for us, again, we went ahead and chose all of my different active statuses and only the things assigned to me. So every single day I get to come into ClickUp and I know exactly what I'm doing Monday, and I can say, hey, I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to move it to tomorrow. So this is honestly where I live in ClickUp every single day. I don't even go into all the other spaces unless I'm like planning something out or looking in a specific board. Another really cool thing is you can set up internal automations. So for us as business owners, this can be great when you have a team or when you want to apply certain workflows that you do all of the time. So let's take an example here where someone fills out a guest application and you have someone in particular on your team who reviews like all the different PR stuff. So what you can do is we can set up an automation, which you can find up here, and let's add an automation. So we're going to say maybe when a new task, a task is created, we're going to make the assignee, let's say me, let's say that I am the person there, and we may even add another action to that. Let's say that we're going to add a template. You can also make templates for tasks. And let's include, we'll get to come here and find one of my templates. So let's just say this was like the workflow for that. And I would click it and it would go ahead and apply that action. And then we can just hit create. And now anytime a task is created in that board, which it will automatically get created when you submit a form from this board, then it will assign it to me. So this is a super great way where you can really start to streamline all the different things happening in your business. You could even have a drop-down menu right here. Let's say that anytime you click this button for whatever reason, then it now assigns that task to someone else. So once you really understand your workflows in your business, ClickUp allows you to do so much where you are no longer having to be as involved in the business. Another thing I love about ClickUp is you can actually do time tracking and team management all within ClickUp. So for us, we have a core team that works in the business every single day, and we have built a dashboard here, which is what this space is called. And it has different widgets that you can, resize and kind of drag around, but it's going to give us different breakdowns of information. And so for us, this is all about time reporting, and we can see everyone's timesheets, how many tasks are assigned to all the different people on our team, as well as time reporting. So in order to track your time, you can just go to any task that you have. So let's say that I went into this task for myself. I can come up to this upper corner here and I can look at my time tracked, and I can enter it manually, or I can go ahead and start my timer. And so then this will automatically populate because it is assigned to me. So it'll start tracking my time. And because I'm the one logged on here. This is also where you can change due dates and other things like that. Now, one thing to note while we're inside of a task here that is super great about ClickUp is we have the main task here that's, underneath any board, and we can add different notes here. But we also have subtasks and checklists. So this is really great for things in your business where we have maybe a blog post, and this is the title of the blog post, but then we have a lot of different subtasks for that blog post, such as upload the graphics, make sure that the SEO is inputted correctly, format it, right? So anything in your business that has an overarching task or thing to do, and then a lot of different steps underneath it, this is where it's going to start taking it all off your brain. You never have to think about what are all the little things that I'm forgetting, and you can just make different subtasks here. The other cool thing about that is then you can create a template. So you can come to the template center and you can just save it as a template, and it will save the formatting of this task exactly how it is. So it can save notes in here. So every time you do a blog post, you might say, here is my main points, and here is the SEO keywords. And maybe there's nothing written underneath there, but now those automatically get formatted just like this when you create a new blog post and apply that new template, as well as all of those different tasks underneath. The other really cool thing that you could use ClickUp for as a service-based entrepreneur is for a CRM tool and keeping track of all of your different clients. So even if this is only 5 clients one-on-one, or if it's a big group program, for us, we serve hundreds of students at once, especially in our group program, Laptop Lifestyle Bootcamp. So all of our students fill out an intake form, and we keep all of their information here, where we can even sort them by different types of businesses that they're in. We can sort them by payment plans. We can sort them by time zone, anything like that that they fill out in the intake form. So I love using ClickUp as a CRM tool. Another way that you can use ClickUp is for leads tracking. So a lot of people do this just in an Excel sheet or maybe Airtable, but I really like doing it in here because I can actually assign myself different follow-up dates. So as you can see here, we actually have different lead qualifications on a level of 1 through 5, which me and my team know what all those levels mean. We can also mark the different status as far as, hey, are we talking to them about the opportunity? Do we need to reach out to them, et cetera? And then we can also come over here and set different due dates on the calendar and actually assign it to ourselves so we never forget to follow up with leads. And we can also take notes about all the different times that we followed up with them. So this makes it really, really easy for me to keep all of the information about the leads for any certain program in all in one place. Another way that you can use ClickUp as a service-based entrepreneur is actually to keep track of your entire workflow for the service that you provide. And whether it's just for you and your team or even you and your clients, it can be a great way to communicate. So this is an example that I have for a designer where you might have some notes about a project overview. You might have all your different steps for onboarding, the pre-work, and then maybe you have different phases of, let's say, a branding project or a website project. So you're going to do all of these different tasks here. And the great thing is you could actually invite your client to this list, and you can assign your client certain tasks, or you can assign them to yourself, or of course your team members with different due dates. And this is going to be great because then you can track the status of it and say, great, okay, so-and-so is working on this, not working on that. And it's going to feel really good for you. It's going to make you look really professional, and it's going to be great for your clients knowing, hey, this is what's expected from me. This is when it's due. In fact, one of my favorite pieces about this as well is you can add one of these chat functions here. So let's add it there. And this can actually be where you can chat back and forth with your client instead of email, because I know so many of my clients hate communicating via email for all of their different projects. Another thing that you can create is an SOP library. So this is something I definitely recommend creating as soon as possible. And I think that storing it in ClickUp is a great place to do it. A lot of other people can store it in other places, maybe Airtable or maybe their Google Drive, but I think it's great having it in here. And you can have different categories like you see at the top here for what type of SOPs need to be created. Then you can name them, and inside of the SOP, you can put the video or any instructions or any formatting that you want to be able to save that information so that you and everyone on your team can know how to do different various tasks throughout your business. And the next way, and another one of my favorite ways to use ClickUp is actually for all of your content. So you can use ClickUp as a project management tool where you are genuinely tracking all of the different tasks that you have to do and you check them off. But the other way you can use it is as a storage system, and we use it as a mix of both. And so what this means is not every single task is meant to be checked off. So as you can see here, this is actually an example of a content calendar, and the tasks are treated just like cards with information about a post that's about to be posted. And we don't check it off when it's done. We just leave it here, but it's in the past. So we can actually come see all of our different content for months and months and months in the past. And then we can reuse it, or we can see what worked well and what didn't work well. And so I have an entire, as you can see on the side here, I have an entire content organization system for how to plan your content, how to create all of it, as well as how to organize it in ClickUp. And you can check the links below to actually steal some of these different ClickUp systems and templates. But as you can see here, we have some for Instagram posts and stories. And so we have a bunch of different custom fields here where we tag different posts. We, sort through what different phase they're in, whether we are outlining them or whatnot. We tag different information about maybe it's a photo or a graphic, and we can go ahead and add the links or hashtags or all these sorts of things. And so we have custom layouts for every different type of content as we need to organize and store different types of information. The other thing that's great about this is, for example, I can add photos here. So in this case, for an Instagram post, I might go ahead and add the photo for the post. But you can do that throughout all of ClickUp for different photos you need to upload for a sales page, or different photos you just need to share with your team that are being mocked up for a YouTube banner. So the best thing about that is that ClickUp has unlimited storage. So you don't have to worry about getting rid of it, but you can keep all of your docs now, just like we have views up here for docs. And you can keep photos and anything that you need within ClickUp. So lastly, as you can see here, I also use ClickUp in my daily and weekly and monthly process to plan out all of my goals, to plan out all of my projects, and to literally plan out every single day what I am doing in my day. So I have not filled in April quite yet, but all of the different tasks will stack up right here, kind of like you start to see here. And then all I have to do is come and I can check them off. And so this is exactly how I plan my day-to-day. And you can actually watch a full video right up here where I show you how I plan my month and my week as an entrepreneur, including ClickUp and all of the other tools and workflows that I use to plan out my week.
So as you can see, this is an amazing tool, and I am honestly still even only scratching the surface here in this video. And it's going to be a must-have tool for you as your business grows and as you start to scale a team if you haven't already. But what I will say is a lot of people wait to jump into a project management tool like Asana or ClickUp until later in their business. And truly, the sooner that you can start using it, even if you're not using it all in this uber complex way and just using it for a to-do list for this project and that project, it's going to be such a game changer in your business because it helps you stay so much more productive. It helps you stay on top of things such as your weekly and daily schedule. And it's going to get you into good habits to establish that you're going to have to use a system like this when you do have a team. So if you are really excited to dive into ClickUp, you can go ahead and sign up for a free account in the link below. And if you want to go ahead and snag my exact ClickUp templates, there's also links below for you to snag all the different ones that we have up for purchase. So we have my entire content creation system, and it comes with an entire tutorial of how to use it and how to organize everything from your YouTube to your blog post to all of your Instagram content and create an entire content calendar. And there are a few more other ClickUp templates below. So super excited for you guys to get organized. I am not joking. I'm so obsessed with ClickUp. Like, it is the best. It's going to just change your life. You're also talking to someone who like loves all of the color coding and all that. Just makes me way too excited. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this and are excited to dive into ClickUp. Make sure to check out some of my other videos all over here about business entrepreneurship and marketing. What else do we talk about on this channel? And also digital nomad stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.